The Los Angeles Rams just won what may have been the craziest football game I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. Puka Nukua is ridiculous, Stafford threw for over 300 yards, and overall, the offense was just clicking. Obviously, defensively, there will be a lot to look over on film, but at the end of the day, it was just a track meet shootout type of game. I thought the Bills and Sean McDerment made a few mistakes, like accepting that one penalty, giving the Rams offense another chance, but at the end of the day, LA just had too much firepower, and it really showed. And now with a 7-6 record, this team is really just hanging around, and I think they have what it takes to make a run, and I want to talk all about it. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so starting off with a quick recap of the game, well, maybe not so quick because of all that happened, but the Rams scored the first touchdown of the game from a Kyren Williams 3-yard run. He had a few solid ones during that drive, and then Puka had a nice catch with some rushes of his own. The Bills responded with their own touchdown when Josh Allen snuck it in. It's tough to stop him when he gets near the goal line with his size and power, and he really just shredded the Rams secondary to get to that point. And then Josh Carty drilled a field goal to put the Rams up by 3. It was kind of back and forth through the first half, and with about 2:36 to go, Puka Nukua rushed to the left for a 4-yard touchdown to go up 24-14. And if you thought the first half was an offensive show, you were in for a treat in the second half. And Williams would start out the second half with a 7-yard rushing touchdown to give the Rams a pretty commanding 31-14 lead. At least you would think. And this is when Josh Allen would really get going. He drove the Bills down the field, and then the big play finally hit, with Khalil Shakir scoring on a 51-yard touchdown. But Stafford and the Rams responded again. This time, it was Kupp who caught a 17-yard touchdown pass up the middle to put LA back on top by 17. And then Josh Allen would respond with a 1-yard touchdown to get the score back within 10, but the Rams still owned a 2-possession lead and had the ball in the 4th. But the Bills defense finally got the big stop they needed, forcing the Rams offense to punt. And then Josh Allen hit Mac Hollins this time for the 21-yard touchdown to put the Bills within 3. And all of a sudden, we had a ball game. And this is when Stafford would hit Puka Nukua for what would be another touchdown. This one for 19 yards, and the Rams were up 9 with 2 minutes left, pretty much putting the game out of reach. But with the night Josh Allen was having, you knew he was going to still try to give what he had and really left it all out on the field. He drove the Bills down the field, and thanks to a penalty, he was able to take it in himself once again. But that was pretty much it. And the Rams moved to 7-6, now setting up what should be a super interesting end to the season. You can say what you want about the Rams. I know there was that questionable false start that was missed, but at the end of the day, putting up 44 points is 99% of the time going to get you a win. The thing the Rams really need to focus on is the secondary and getting back on track, because even though it's Josh Allen and he can put together those spectacular performances as we saw today, 42 is just not championship caliber defense by any standard. One fun fact that came out of this game is that this was the first game in NFL history where two teams combined for 850 yards with 0 turnovers and 0 sacks. It was pretty much flawless offense. It was the best game ever for the new generation to watch, and for the old heads that love good defense, not so much. And honestly, as much as I want to rail the defense on both ends, sometimes players are just so talented these days, and the rules are so bended towards the offense that better offense can beat any sort of D. To me, this game showed why Sean McVay should never give up the play calling, and everyone that was calling him to be fired really looks like idiots right now. I'm sorry, but that just had to be said. I also thought this was a good example of why you should never tank, because all of a sudden, the Rams are in the hunt, and I think they can pull off what nobody thought was possible. Looking at the actual stats from the game, Stafford ended with 320 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, with a 132.6 passer rating. Williams had 87 yards and 2 touchdowns, a big day for him and the offensive line, and then Blake Corum, the Michigan product, had 34 yards off 8 carries. In the receiving game, Puka Nukua had 162 yards and a touchdown, and then Kupp shut down all the rumors that he lost a step, putting up 96 yards with that touchdown he had. And then outside of that, really every guy on the roster made a big play at some point. In his post-game interview, Sean McVay had quite a few things to say. First, he praised Josh Allen and called him a nightmare to defend, and he said that is why he is a legitimate MVP contender. He also called him an alien. Some of the stuff that he can do and the things that he can create, we knew he was capable of doing that. He's shown that. It's why he is respected in this league the way he is. It's all deserved and earned, McVay also said. For Puka to come up the way he did, to ultimately cap off that huge drive to put the Rams up by 9 points to secure the win, he was just awesome. And crazy stat, he became the first receiver in Rams history to go for over 160 yards with a rushing touchdown. Sorry, I'm just a stats nerd. But for real, for him to do what he's done this season after missing time is more than impressive. And McVay called him an igniter, which to him is one of the biggest compliments you can give. He said that Puka is just a guy who elevates everyone around him, and tonight was a prime example. I thought the Rams really did a good job of managing broken plays as well. There were a couple of plays where it was a long down and distance, and at first it looked like a broken play, but Stafford stayed composed even when he had to maneuver and roll out of the pocket. He just kept his eyes downfield and made some huge connections on plays where he shouldn't have. Stafford was in great command. Guys just executed, they were able to overcome a couple of negative plays, and really, besides that punt, the offense had a perfect game and second half. Looking ahead, the Rams will face the 49ers. This has kind of been a down year for them, but they still have so much talent all over the field. The game will be in their house, and both teams will be fighting for their season. I expect this to be a fantastic football game, and it could be another track meet. Well, the Niners at least probably hope it will be, because if it's not, that will mean the Rams are up big. But for these next few days, I do think celebrating good wins is important, and before the Rams look toward that game, they need to look at and enjoy what went well this week. Here's what some of the guys, as well as media, had to say about this game.
I think our guys did an amazing job up front when you look at it. In the run game and in the pass game, did a great job of keeping me clean against a really good rush. And then we had some creases in the run game too. So starts with those guys. They did a hell of a job, and when they do that, allows us to go operate, at the receiver spot, at the running back spot, at my spot. So just proud of those guys, the effort they put forward today.
I haven't seen anything like it. I was talking to someone earlier this week. Like, I'm the type of person who just sits back and observes. I don't really, try to say too much, but just the way he, approaches practice and approaches, the meetings and whatnot. And whatever year he's in, it's different. And, it alludes just to, the greatness that he really is. The things that you see on the field is no surprise to me because, he puts in the work to make those things happen.
Man, I was really excited because we didn't get a chance. Normally there's some type of communication. That guy number 10 is aware as anybody out there on the football field, but we canceled that play, and I was like, man, just full trust in those and Cooper, and especially Big Rob that was the second guy to get out there. So I'm being like, man, two guys that I feel like I've grown a good relationship with, and two guys that I trust out there on the football field, and they got their job done.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. And if you enjoyed it and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, please let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.